Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we are looking at two new funds from XYLG, and they are covered call ETFs that kind of change or kind of helps you participate in the upside growth of the market and also make some income. So QYLD has become a cult following, and it pumps out high levels of income, but the knock on it is no growth because it is 100% covered call option income. 100%. So we'll go over those today. If you missed last Saturday's video on SPHD, the popular monthly pay ETF that a lot of people are in, go back and check that. I'll link it up here and in the description below. There was a huge response on that video, and I really appreciate y'all's support on that. So if you missed it, go check it out. If you're new here, like, share, subscribe, do all that good stuff. We talk about a lot of ETFs on this channel, income investing, mostly on dividends. I do a paper portfolio where I track my own covered call strategy. That's coming up pretty soon, actually, probably this weekend, so look out for that. I share my own dividend portfolio income every month as well. So if that interests you, please like, share, subscribe, hit the notification bell. Also, if you'd like to support me, down below in a pinned comment is a link to my Amazon, is a link to Amazon. I'm an Amazon affiliate, and if you use that link and go and complete your shopping session at no cost to you, it will give me a small commission on qualified purchases. Also down in there is a new GW ETF Teespring store that I really haven't talked about because I'm still kind of working it out. So that link is down there too. If you'd like to check it out, let me know your thoughts on that. So today we are looking at QYLG and XYLG, two new XYLG covered call and growth ETFs. Now, I am just going to do a brief overview because these were just put out on September 21st, which was like 2 days ago. And what these do is basically the same thing as QYLD, except instead of doing 100% covered calls, they do 50% covered calls, or 50% of the value of the portfolio they will sell covered calls on. The other 50% they stay long on. So that just means that you will participate in the growth of the market 50% of the growth of the market, if that makes sense. So this is what they do. The options written cover 50% of the values of the stocks held in each fund. This means each fund retains roughly half of the upside potential of the index they track. So let's see if we can get some more clarity here. So what's the trade-off? The trade-off between growth and income. So typically, if there was a 1% gain on the index, a full covered investor, so think QYLD, would not partake in the gains. But a 50% covered investor, which are these two ETFs, would take part in half the upside. If there was a 1% decline on the index, a fully covered investor would still take part in the equity decline, but the decline may be partially offset by the options premium received. So if there was a 1% decline, like in QYLD, you're covered because they give you approximately a 1% income premium, right? So a 50% covered investor would also take part in the equity decline, but the decline would be greater than the 100% fully covered investor's decline because the 50% covered investor only received half the options, right? So instead of 1%, they received 0.5%, right? So it's really what you want, right? If you need that high income, QYLD is probably where you want to be. If you want to participate in the market upside and collect some income, these two funds are what that's designed for. So let's see, where was it? There was another thing here. So I like these ETFs. I also covered an ETF, and I'm long on QYLD, by the way. And I'm also long on an ETF named JEPI. That's ticker symbol JEPI. And I did a video on JEPI, and I'll link it up here as well, and I'll link it down in the description. Check that out, because JEPI sort of does what these are doing. These ETFs are very convenient for this, because covered calls, I'm finding, are a lot of work if you're going to have a lot of stocks to do it on. It's okay if you do it on one ETF or something, or you can just let an ETF do it for you. And that's what it says here. While investors may be able to implement covered call strategies on their own, investing in covered call ETFs could be a more efficient option. Rather than buying the 100 stocks in the NASDAQ 100 index, for instance, and selling call options on the index each month, one can buy a single ETF and outsource those responsibilities to a professional portfolio manager. So here is where this goes. If you are bullish on the stock market, long term, what do they say? Stocks only go up. Then this is probably, and you want income, this is probably a good option for you. But as I was talking about JEPI, I like JEPI a little bit better than these two. And the reason why is, number one, it's cheaper to own. Number two, it's actively managed, so the managers are nimble enough to be able to write out of the money call options. These guys are still writing at the money call options, and so they're limiting the growth to 50% of the portfolio assets. So with the JEPI, they could write options on all the stocks they hold, right? And they can write it far enough out of the money that they don't get called away. So you participate in all the upside, depending on how well they are with their covered call options. But not saying that these two are bad. QYLG, NASDAQ 100, it does have a 0.6% expense ratio. They are going to be paying monthly, and the XYLG is a 0.6% expense ratio, and they will pay monthly as well. There are two different, they're basically the same, but the indexes they track handle the options slightly differently. Like the NASDAQ 100, the QYLG follows sort of the QYLD strategy, where they write a succession of 1 month at the money covered call options on the reference index. So they'll do 50% of the portfolio value, and they hold those covered call options on the index until 1 day prior to expiration, and then they buy it back and they sell another one. That's basically what QYLD and QYLG do. Now with the XYLG, I get confused with that, but this is the S&P 500 one. They do the same thing. They write 50% of the value of the portfolio stocks in the reference index. But the difference is the written covered call options on the reference index are held until expiration. So a little bit different. I'd like to see how that plays out. I have a feeling that the ones held to expiration may perform better. I don't know. That's one of the things that I don't like about these funds, QYLD included, is the transparency of the transactions. you don't really know what they're doing and what the performance of the actual contracts that they're writing, selling. So that's all I got for you today. XYLG and QYLG, two brand new Global X covered call ETFs, giving you half the income of QYLD, but you get to participate in half the upside of the QQQ or the NASDAQ 100 and the S&P 500, respectively. So I don't know if I'll do any updates. I'll probably do an update in a couple of months as these get some traction and see if they become more popular and how they perform, see what kind of distributions that they pay out every month. If you'd like to see that, please leave me a comment down below. Thanks for watching. Use that Amazon link. Check out my Teespring store. You guys have a great day, rest of your week, and we'll talk to you later. Thanks. Bye-bye. I am not a financial advisor. The information contained in this video is for entertainment and informational purposes only. It is not intended to be investment advice. Please seek a licensed professional for any investment, tax, or legal advice. Thank you.